Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to Smile to Jannah. A lot of people have been messaging me to make a video about what's going on in Kashmir. Before I begin, here's a quick background. Indian administered Kashmir is a Muslim majority area, which is under Indian rule. Now this mismatch of leadership and demographic has led to the people rebelling and wanting to join either Pakistan or being outright independent. Either way, being against the Indian rule. Now this has made the area very unstable, causing India to employ a whopping 500,000 troops, making it one of the most militarized areas on the planet. Now India has repeatedly violated human rights, which is a very mild way of putting it, and using extreme force to suppress any opposition. What's going on now? Now there's two incidents that we're going to focus on. The first incident, this was an annual Hindu 45-day pilgrimage to a Himalayan cave shrine, and this was taking place. So India claimed that it received intelligence suggesting an attack on these pilgrimage routes, and so asked all of the pilgrims and tourists to evacuate straight away. The second incident was the Indian army said it had foiled an attempt by Pakistani militants across the border of Pakistani Kashmir and Indian Kashmir, killing several attackers. Pakistan denies this and accuses India of attacking civilians across this borderline in an area called the Neelam Valley with cluster munitions, which is in violation of international law. Again, India denies this. Now, in war, the first casualty is truth. Someone's clearly lying and using this to further their agenda. Now, they know that the international community can't verify who it is, and it's going to be India's word against Pakistani's word. So in the end, it's going to come down to the strength of propaganda and the influence that the country has, and that's naturally in the favor of India.
One of the biggest terrorists
to counter terrorism and
made to neutralize that terrorist. One terrorist has been neutralized.
Terror threat.
Some terrorists may have infiltrated.
A terror attack from Pakistan.
Those terrorists will
Now let's deal with the suspicious acts which point towards a hostile takeover of some kind from India. Okay, now there's been terrorist attacks that happened in that area before, but consider the following. There's already 500,000 troops there, but an additional 10,000 have been sent. Mobile networks and the internet has been restricted, schools have been closed, curfew restrictions have been added. So people are literally shut out from the outside world, from each other. Local politicians are put under house arrest, even if they're pro-India. Okay, now let's look at the timing of all of this, Considering Pakistan is working with the US to resolve the conflict in Afghanistan, that could mean a problem for India, as that would mean Pakistan would be more focused on Kashmir. Number two, you got Independence Day that's coming up.
So in the light of Independence Day, those terrorists will need to be neutralized and ensure that this time every Panchayat Ghar in the valley will be celebrating Independence Day in a very big way.
Some might say India is acting in self-defense, but the majority of the evidence says otherwise and points to India being the aggressor. Number one, India has refused third-party mediation, even if it be with the US, to such a degree that Indians were furious when Trump gave the impression that Modi asked him for mediation. Number two, and this is the biggie, Article 370 has now been revoked. And this is causing the most outrage. This was what people were worried about the most. Now, this was the condition with which Indian administered Kashmir agreed to join with India in the first place. This article allowed Kashmir to have a degree of freedom and independence from India. But Hindu nationalists have been fighting against this for a very long time. The Prime Minister, being a Hindu nationalist himself, announced this too when he was running for leadership. So now he's just reenacting what he promised. Number three, considering the area is majority Muslim, the best bet for India would be to change the demographic. Yeah, because it's more difficult trying to win those people over. So there's two ways that they can do this. Firstly, install illegal settlements like Israel's done in Palestine, as hinted by the BJP leader. And secondly, to revoke Article 35A. And that's just a ticking time bomb. Article 35A prevents people from outside the state from buying land in the territory. Yeah. Now, naturally, when this is revoked, this would get like an influx of rich Indians literally buying out Kashmir, and that would inevitably lead it to be a part of India. When these two things are revoked, naturally there's going to be backlash from the people. So that's, you got all these troops there that are there to kind of suppress any outburst, with the curfews, and you're not allowed to meet or organize any public rallies, and the borders being tightened up between India and Pakistan, so Pakistan won't be able to assist either. So it does seem like a hostile takeover. India is playing a very smart game. It's not revealing too much. It's putting its foundation in place, so when this hostile takeover happens, there's going to be very little resistance. So in this month of Dhul Hijjah, I do ask you guys to make dua for our brothers and sisters that are in Kashmir. If there's anything that I've missed out, you guys got any more resources, put them in the comments, inshallah. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.